If you're expecting a happy ending, you won't find it here. Have you ever heard of karma? This is a tale of wickedness. A fox named Verbain. His beauty was undeniable. A coat of burnished copper. A tail like a wisp of fire. But those who looked too closely saw the truth behind his eyes. He was something far worse than a trickster, and soon the forest would fear his name. Verbain had long since discovered that words were more powerful than claws. A well-placed rumor could turn neighbor against neighbor. He was not a hunter of strength, nor one who toiled for his meals. Instead, he wove webs of deception, turning the woodland creatures against one another, spreading rumors that bent the world in his favor. He did not do this out of necessity, but for amusement, for the power that came with whispered words. One evening, Verbain sat beneath an old oak, watching a young owl preen his feathers. Seeing an opportunity, Verbain approached with a sly smile. "You know," he murmured, "I overheard the most interesting thing. A lovely young owl was whispering to her friends about you. She finds you strong, but she wonders if you are truly impressive. She said that only an owl who could soar to the highest tree and back 10 times without any rest could be worthy of admiration." The young owl's feathers fluffed with excitement. "Truly, did she say this?" "That's what I heard," Verbain chuckled. "If you do this feat now, she will surely notice you." Eager to prove himself, the owl immediately took to the air, racing up and down, exhausting himself in his blind pursuit. Meanwhile, Verbain prowled below, feasting upon the mice the owl had neglected to hunt. By the time the owl realized his foolishness, Verbain had vanished into the shadows, belly full and grinning. One morning, Verbain sat near the riverbank, his ears twitching as he overheard a badger muttering to himself. The old creature paced outside his den, sniffing the air anxiously. "I swear I smell them. Ugh, I will find this other badger." Verbain stepped forward, tilting his head in false concern. "You're right to worry," he said. "I've seen the signs myself. Claw marks, scent markings, a bigger, meaner badger. He's watching you." The badger stiffened. "What? Watching me? Where?" Verbain nodded gravely. "Yes, I saw him near the western ridge just yesterday. He's waiting for the right moment to challenge you." A flustered look spread on the badger's face. He was old, slower than he used to be. A fight could mean the end for this old guy. "I will show him," the badger mumbled, scurrying off towards the ridge, searching for his invisible enemy. As soon as he was gone, Verbain slunk into the abandoned den. But he was not there to sleep. He was there to wait. And sure enough, as dawn approached, a solitude rabbit appeared. Of course, the rabbits learned that the den was the home to the old badger, so they did their usual grazing nearby, not knowing that the den now belonged to something far worse. The rabbit ventured too close. With a single pounce, Verbain ended its life. Blood warmed the cold earth. The fox feasted, and when the morning sun was full in the sky, he wiped his muzzle clean and listened. From the burrow, voices rose. "Where is he? We have to look for him." Verbain, ever the opportunists listened as their worried voices filled the air. An idea crept into his mind like a twisted vine. He dragged some of the rabbit's fur and blood towards a hunter's snare he had seen days before, ensuring a clear trail. Then he crept back to the badger's den, stretching as if wakened from a deep sleep. "Looking for someone?" he asked casually. The rabbits hesitated, eyeing him warily. Verbain's ears flicked. "Ah, I thought I heard something. A struggle near the old traps by the fallen tree. I dared not go near, but if you follow carefully, you might find him." The rabbits exchanged uneasy glances. "And why should we listen to a fox?" Verbain smirked. "I was here all night, sleeping in this abandoned den. Believe me or don't, it makes no difference to me. But I know that those woods are dangerous. Traps are hidden under leaves, unseen. The only safe path is the fallen tree. Cross it, and you'll avoid the snares." His voice dripped with false concern, and his words were carefully chosen. The rabbits, though skeptical, could not ignore their curiosity. Desperate to find their friend, they followed the trail of fur and blood, hopping onto the fallen tree to avoid the supposed dangers below. As soon as one of them stepped too close, the wire snapped. The rabbit shrieked, thrashing as the noose tightened around its leg. The others froze in horror. Verbain only smiled. "Such a shame," he murmured. "But that's the way of the forest, isn't it?" And before the others could stop him, he lunged, sinking his teeth into the trapped rabbit's throat. Blood splattered the forest floor. The surviving rabbits fled in terror. Days passed, and the air around Verbain began to change. A strange silence followed him. Birds that once sang in the trees stopped when he passed. The wind, once playful, now twisted through the branches in an eerie, hollow whistle. But Verbain paid no mind. He had one more trick to play. He had come across a bear by the lake, a creature large and powerful, but also desperate. The bear's ribs showed through its fur. Hunger gnawed at it. When the bear growled at Verbain, ready to kill him, the fox acted fast. "Come and get me, bear." He danced around the weak bear, teasing him. "You can't catch me," he teased. The bear was getting faster and angrier, which is just what Verbain wanted. And so, Verbain kept teasing, leading the bear to a slippery slope. He stopped just close enough to let the bear think he couldn't escape. But at the last possible second, he jumped over him as the bear stumbled. The ground collapsed. He tumbled, roaring into the jagged ravine below. The impact sent a sickening crack through the trees. Verbain smirked. But when he turned, he was not alone. A dozen eyes watched him from the trees. The deer, the foxes, the birds, the badger who had returned. They had seen everything. "Monster." The word rippled through the forest. "Monster. Monster." That night, as Verbain walked through the woods, he heard it. A sound like nothing he had ever heard before. A whisper that was not a whisper. A noise so twisted, so wrong, that it seemed to curl around him, wrapping him in unseen claws. He froze. "Who's there?" Only the wind answered. Then his shadow stretched unnaturally long. It twisted, pulling away from its paws, stretching until it wasn't a shadow at all. A presence, an invisible weight pressing on his chest, sinking into him. And then he felt it, a sickness inside him. His limbs ached, his bones creaked, his skin burned as though something were crawling beneath it. He stumbled to the river's edge and gasped. His reflection was changing. His eyes, once sharp and golden, were now hollow voids. His fur bristled in strange, jagged patches. His mouth stretched too wide, filled with teeth that had not been there before. He backed away, but he could not escape himself. As dawn broke over the woods, the creatures gathered. They saw what he had become. No longer a fox, no longer Verbain. He was a thing too large to hide, a creature twisted by the weight of his own lies. And as they looked upon him with horror, he realized the worst part of all. He tried to speak, but he was shocked at what came out of his mouth. All of his words were misunderstood. It was as if he was speaking in riddles, or making no sense at all. Unable to speak, Verbain didn't know what to do, and for the first time, he felt truly afraid. Not knowing what else to do, he ran as fast as he could, ripping up the earth as he went. Since then, the forest creatures told stories of Verbain. They never saw him again, but every now and then, they heard the strange sound. Was it the words Verbain tried to speak, carrying through the forest? Or was it the strange sound of the very thing that turned him into a monster, forever consuming him?